Alrighty, I am back with Video7, and this is for the Centipede, the all-encompassing Centipede. So this was one of the harder, definitely I think one of the hardest parts of Centipede. Just making the game was just making the Centipede itself, because it was just this huge linked list that was connecting a million different pointers, and it got super confusing after a while, but that's why you draw pictures and you try to figure out what's going on. So I'm going to show you what I did with this. So the Centipede, it does have a base class, which is right here, and it does have its head derived and its body derived, which I'll get to in a minute after I explain what's in the Centipede chair. So, the most important part of this shared class is this function right here, which is changing a body to a head. Well, okay, it says change body to a head, but really this is for whenever one of the pieces in the Centipede gets hit. It does something special. So let's go to that function. So change body to head, or also known as, just split the Centipede up or delete something, whatever. So the first if statement we have is if you're a solo head. So if you're just a solo little head going along, and you get hit by a bullet, delete it, because obviously there's nothing else for you to do. But if you are a head and you have something right behind you, so if you're a head, if you have a head and you have a body, and you hit the body, it will change that body part to a head. So it basically transfers everything from the Centipede head, which is right in here. So everything in this constructor then gets set right in this if else statement. So this is at least if the head has one thing behind it. So then if within here, if you have more things behind you, it then also sets up more of the pointers. Pretty simple. This else has nothing in it, but don't worry about that. So you get out of these and set up more pointers. So then we go to this else if statement, which is basically saying if you have if you're right behind a head and you delete it. So this first one is if you are a head, change the body behind you to a head, and if now you are the body that's right behind a head and you hit the body, you change, that body portion to a head. So it basically sets up all the stuff again from the head into this little area right here. So, and then also looks to if there's even more stuff behind that body, change stuff as well. So, then we have this else statement, which is basically saying if you hit a body portion that is in the middle, or if it's the tail. So if it's the tail, we just delete it. Nothing really else to do. But if it's in the middle, we make a temporary Centipede body. We set that body to be a head, and a head of so not the head, but a head of the body. And then we create a new head, because obviously that middle section of the Centipede that you hit with a bullet is being changed into a Centipede head. So you set the pointers in there just like we did above. And then this little if statement right here is for if you if there's more stuff behind you as well. So it changes that. So let's go look at the head itself. So the head, this is the the movement, pretty much the movement of the Centipede itself. So that's all done in the check for shrooms. And then obviously its movement is done in the movement pool, but pretty straightforward. So let's go into the head CPP. And once again, this is derived from Centipede shared right there. So it takes in, it has whatever was going on in the Centipede chair with the setting of the pointers and, so in the Centipede head, I have its variables being set up, stuff for the not pixels, but the sprite, collisions, sound, pretty simple with that. So in its update, which is going to be doing the check for shrooms, I did something where I have a counter, which is basically checking technically every 16 frames, but it's also divided, that checker is divided by a scalar. So say the, let's see, so the offset, you're going to be moving every square in the grid, the mushroom grid is 16 pixels, correct? So that means every 16 frames you're going to be checking for a mushroom. So if you're going faster than, say, a speed of 1, which would be going 1 frame a second, if you're going 2 frames a second as a centipede, you'd be checking the offset divided by scalar. So the faster the centipede is going, the less frames it has to check because, it's skipping over those. So it's going super fast. So this accounts, it works. So check for the shrooms. We're gonna go into the shrooms. So I could have done this a lot better, but honestly, I mean, I'm more proud that I came up with this at like 4 a.m. at the time when I was doing this, and it worked, and it's fine. So I'm just gonna go through it. So right here I have an if statement. This is if you are going down the screen. So everything in here is if the centipede is going zigzag down. So it checks, if you're going left, you check you check what's in front of you. You see if this is for if a mushroom is poisoned. It's saying that the centipede is then going to poison itself, so then it'll go down the screen. But if it's not poisoned, if the mushroom spot is not poisoned, it will go down, and going left will be false, and then it'll say that it was going left, so it'll be true, which will then, so if it's going left like this, and it'll just loop around and go like that way. And then right, basically the same thing, check if there's poison mushroom there. If it's true, it's going to go down the screen completely. But if it's, going right, and if it hit a mushroom, it's going to be going down, and it's going to be going right. The right going right is false, and then it was going right, so that's true. So, if you're going down, so this is right over here. So if you are going down, it will go by the offset, by the scalar, divided by the scalar. So, it takes 16 frames to go down a spot on the mushroom grid. So there's that. So if you're going down, if you haven't reached the bottom of the screen yet, and if you were going right, it's going to say that you're going left now. And if you're going left, it means that you're going right now. But then if you did hit the bottom of the screen, you say that was going down, because you're not going down the screen anymore, is false. You're going up now, so, was going up is now true. Down is false because you hit the bottom. And then obviously is poison is false because there's just nothing there. So if you were going left, this is just basically for you when you hit the bottom. If you're going left, if you were going left, you go right, and if you were going right, you go left. So now this part is if you are going up the screen. So if you're going, it's the same thing as what I did above. Is if you go left and you hit a mushroom, you go up and then you start going right. And if you're going right and you hit a mushroom, you go up and then you go left.